Hi guys, it's Coach Pat from the Rant. Before we get to the Rant, let's talk a little bit about our sponsor, Premier Football Consulting. These guys do a great job of placing football players throughout the country at great programs from Division I to Division III. No one does it any better. But instead of me telling you about it, how about you hear from the CEO, Nico Pappas? Nico, tell us all about it.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Rant. My name is Nico Pappas. I'm Coach Pappas' son. I'm also the director and one of the founders here at Premier Football Consulting. Our team at PFC has been around for 23 years and is one of the largest football consulting groups in the country, as we've helped over 1,000 players and their family navigate this competitive, confusing, and costly recruiting process in an effort to find a great college fit. Our team consists of 15 former players and coaches that have experience at the FBS level, the FCS and Ivy League level, as well as the small college high academic landscape. Since the advent of the transfer portal, the NIL, and in the post days of COVID, this college recruiting process has become crazier than ever. It's confusing, it's competitive, and most importantly, it's costly. The PFC has stayed on top of all of these trends and has the ability to leverage our experience, our knowledge, and most importantly, our connections at the college level to give our players a huge edge in what will be a very competitive process. So if your son desires to play college football, I highly recommend that you get the help of an expert. When you go to buy a house, you look to hire a real estate agent. It's the same thing with the college recruiting process. When you are about to enter it, you should seek the help of an expert, and that's where the PFC comes in. So if you would be interested in a quick free consultation call, feel free to reach out to me at 617-308-7801 or shoot me an email at nico@premierfootballconsulting.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nico, and thank you, Coach Pap. Now, on to the podcast. Cue the music, baby.
Hey, welcome to the Rant. We got a special Thanksgiving Day edition here. We are fired up. I'm Coach Pap, co-host, along with the undisputed champion of all of Massachusetts sports knowledge, the great Danny V. And he's getting ready for some turkey. He's getting ready for some turkey in Wayland. Listen, we're gonna have, and then you're playing Weston on Thanksgiving. Are you even gonna go to that game?
I'm going to that game. I want them to put up 50, damn it.
Jesus.
I'm upset about the situation. 50.
I'll tell you what.
They charge $20 for entry for the Thanksgiving Day game.
At Weston?
I want to kick the shit out. Yeah.
Hey,
I want to kick the shit out of them.
Damian, they should be paying you guys to go.
Exactly. It's Weston.
$20. Are they paying you for park? You got to pay the park?
80% of the stands, it's Wayland fans. Weston doesn't even want to show up.
They're taking advantage of them. My God. Anyways, all right. Well, that's a good.
For the record, if anyone from Weston is listening, I had no part of this conversation.
It's on me. Put it on me.
That's right. He's a Wayland guy.
Put it on my tab.
Folks, we got a great show. We're gonna talk MIAA playoffs. We're gonna talk a little other stuff, and the stuff we usually talk about. Then we have for our guests. We have the incomparable Al Costabile, head coach of Shawsheen Tech, will be with us. And then a guy who's done an unbelievable job down at Scituate, Herb Devine, is going to be on after that. It's going to be a fun time to go. But, Dame, why don't you start us off, buddy? Where are we heading first?
Of course, a couple weeks ago, we started with all these 16-team brackets. And look at this today, guys. We're down to just 2 teams per division, guys. Let's talk about the playoffs more specifically. Let's talk about Gillette in the Super Bowl.
Go get him, Danny.
Well, they put out the schedules today, so I'll just go chronological order. It's a doubleheader Wednesday night. They're going to start with the Division 7 game at 5:30. Uxbridge, which has really dominated the field. They're the defending champions, and they put up a ton of points. They'll go up against a Mashpee team who I think is pretty solid. I mean, that should be a pretty good game. To be honest with you, I think they're all have the potential to be good matchups.
I agree with you, Danny. I think Mashpee will bring. Mashpee's my pick. Uxbridge your pick, correct?
That's correct.
All right, buddy. We're 1-1 on that one. I mean, I think Mashpee will bring their athletic guys. I mean, they're hungry. They're ready to go. But like you're saying, Uxbridge, I haven't watched any tape on them. I'd really like to get some before the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that next week. But wow, he's done a great job out there. That's going to be a heck of a game.
Then the 8:00 game was a rematch of last year's semifinal. Fairhaven outlasted Hudson 40-37. I mean, Jason Marcus is the state's all-time leading touchdown guy. Put up 6 more last week to give him 109 for his career. And Hudson has a quarterback, Zach Attaway, who's put up, mind-boggling numbers. He's going to probably wind up in the top 5 in his career for total, passing and rushing yardage for quarterback. That game could be the last team who has the ball wins that game.
Danny, when we'll never vote, nor should we, but we'll talk about at the end of the year, potential Gatorade Players of the Year. Those 2 guys are going to be in it. Those 2 guys are going to be running.
I agree.
I mean, just what they have done has just been fantastic. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like up there. I mean, we're 10 days away. Who knows?
I know what we're hearing about 3 days away.
What's that?
Not good.
It's not going to be 85?
No. In fact, one game already got moved from Thanksgiving to Wednesday night.
Wow. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, the meteorologist of this family, Carla V, is going to be heading down that way.
Of course she is. And we're going to be having Goldbergs for breakfast. I'm joining her and her sister.
There you go. As long as you pick up the tab, you're more than welcome.
Well, of course I will. Anyways, I think you're right. I mean, usually the running team, in my opinion, usually has the advantage. But as we saw against Notre Dame and Army, I'll tell you what, man, it's tough when you're multi-talented. That's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to, Damian, that's going to be worth the $20 if you want to throw $20 at a game. That's going to be a good.
Well, maybe you might want to save it for Thursday night.
What do we got Thursday night?
Thursday, 3 great games. You start 3:00, the early bird special, Duxbury and Scituate. Rematch of last year's final. The excitement's getting to me.
That's all right.
They played last year, and Duxbury put it to them pretty good, 62-33. Alex Barlow was a man amongst boys. But I think this year, Scituate, last year I thought Duxbury was clearly the favorite. This year, I think Scituate might be going in a little bit of in the favored role, in my opinion.
We'll talk to Herb about it. Which is going to be fun.
Well, he's going to say he's the underdog.
Yeah, of course he's going to say that. But we'll goad him into it, Danny.
So we got 5:30. Got the Division I championship game. Needham, fresh off their win over St. John's Prep, and I hope people are not calling that an upset. I mean, Needham is a very, very good team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're 20-2 in their last 22 games. The only 2 teams that beat them, Milton beat them 10-9 last year, and the team they're playing in the finals, Zavarian, beat them 20-17 in the semifinal. And both of those teams went on to win state championships. So, I think, to me, that's a pick'em game, Needham Zavarian.
So I agree with you that people should not call it an upset. Okay, right. I agree with you. But the common feeling, and I would believe in Massachusetts, is that, good for the Publics. And again, and sure. So in that it was not an upset. I think that people really, when they saw it happen, it was just kind of, we know this was not a David versus Goliath. We know that.
Right.
Because Coach Kopsko has done such a fantastic job at Needham, keeping those guys there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm with you, Danny. I am with you. This Aiden
Williams
he's going to Lehigh, and I'm really not. I know Bo's going over to BC. I'm not sure Aiden Williams is. His dad was a UConn guy, I think.
Yes, he's the AD at Bentley now.
And he's the AD at Bentley. Real good guy.
Very nice guy.
I'm not sure that kid's not a step above. Boy, he is just
what a specimen he is. Whoa.
He's a specimen. He's a powerful runner. He doesn't do it. I'll tell you, it reminds me of AJ Dillon. So just the way he runs, he's just big and thick. So now is Busa hurt, Danny?
No, he should be back. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if they sit him on Thanksgiving, though.
Yeah,
really not the league title. I mean, unless BC High knocks off CM and then you could get a 3-way tie or whatever. But I think for the most part, I would assume, I know the kid's he's an animal, wants to play, but I think sometimes, you have to be a little smart in this situation.
Danny, well, you and I both know that back in the day when this was, when people would argue, should you play on Thanksgiving?
Right.
It was, they played a 10-game schedule, and way back in the day, there was only one Super Bowl, so it was 11.
Right.
And then it got up to 12. These teams are playing 13 games now. I mean, and again, for example, if Reading had won, Reading's playing Tuesday night. I mean,
right.
It's 3 days off in between. I mean, that I don't want to get into injuries and so on and so forth. It's tough.
This is why they get rid of the old system. The sports medicine, 3 games in 10 days is crazy.
It's what it is. So, but anyways, I'm with you with the Needham thing, and that's going to be a heck of a game.
Then you get the last one where you're going to get the Never Catholics are going to be out in full force. King Philip playing Catholic Memorial, and there's a lot of people who are not happy with Catholic Memorial being in Division 2. You've got a local on-air radio guy who's already started bashing away, and I think in this case, CM did not win last year. I think there's a little fire in the belly over there, and I think some of the comments that are being made by certain people, and they're not even affiliated with the team directly, but they happen to be fanboys of the team, and they don't realize that people hear everything.
So, Danny, you and I talk about it all the time, and I think CM should be Division I. I mean,
I agree.
You feel the same way.
Yes.
So let me say something. King Philip might be the best team in the state. I mean, so again,
this is not a layup. No, you're right.
This is so I'm not saying that the Division I game is not the better game, but this is not like CM lining up against, Wellesley. I mean, they're lining up against the team that draws from 3 communities. Okay. So take away the numbers on this one, in my opinion. They could say, CM should be. I mean, would CM rather be playing Needham as a variant? Maybe. Maybe.
I mean,
so in this particular year, there is no bitch for Fort Lauderdale on this game. This could be the marquee matchup right here.
Yeah, I mean, when they say it's 1 and 1A, we don't even know which one is the 1 game and the 1A because they're both that good. No, I'm going to be there.
You going?
I'm going.
Whoa!
Yeah, I want to see all 3 of them. I think they're 3 great games.
Listen, you got to pay $20 to get in. You have to pay, or you get the pass, huh?
That's correct.
You get a pass. You get a pocket pass too.
Yes.
Dave,
I will say this though: parking is free at Gillette.
Oh, okay.
Unbelievable. Well, are you going to valet?
No.
Never.
No. I'm a man of the people. I'll park in the parking lot.
Okay. I don't know.
Good for you, Danny. Good for you.
Yeah. He's a man of the people till he's parking 3 miles away, and then he's valet.
Then I'll be steaming.
He's
I'll be back in the car. I'll be listening to it on the radio.
On the way back to Brighton.
Exactly.
Okay. Thursday's going to be unbelievable. What do we got?
We go Friday night. We start the early bird special, 3:00. Get the Division 8 Super Bowl. The defending champion, West Boylston. Could be an interesting story. I mean, Mike Ross, the head coach there, is closing in on 200 wins.
That guy, I'll tell you what, I did not know he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. I don't know the gentleman. I just know of people who know him or anything else. He seems like a hot ticket. And you know what? And he's done it at 3 different schools. And you want to talk about the most underrated coach in the state. That guy's right there. He's right there.
When you take on a Randolph team that's has put up some numbers, knocked off Neshoba Tech.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Hap loves Randolph.
Let me tell you something. We're going to talk about this next week about I haven't forgot about our bets, but I am alive. in a lot of places.
Well, for now.
And Randolph is looking good. I'll tell you what, they're ready to go. They are moving and shaking. Now all they got to do is they got to just get on the bus. Yeah, that's all I'm worried about with Randolph, getting on the bus.
There you go. Now, and you go to 5:30, the Division 5 game, the Paisan Bowl, Shawsheen and Foxborough. They met last year in the semifinals, and Foxborough took it to them pretty good. Now, I don't know if they're quite the team they've been in. Shawsheen, I think, is a lot like Needham in that, they're a veteran team. They were, last year's team that lost to Foxborough, a lot of sophomores and juniors. And, they've learned their lesson by the way they played this year. They've been fantastic.
We're going to talk to Al right before we talk to Herb, which is going to be it's going to be a gem for all of us because there's nothing like a conversation with Al Costabile. I talked to him earlier in the week. They played their worst game last weekend, and again, and hopefully Sid Tilsley's going to jump on with us as well. But Al was exclaiming about how Sid refused to lose, and we just said it. 13 game run, undefeated, and everything else. All of a sudden, you get a little adversity, and Sid stepped up for him. I mean, I think Foxborough obviously has done a good job, and we'll talk about the Hawk in a second. But I just think Shawsheen's on a mission, just like you said, CM. I think Shawsheen's on a mission. It's going to be interesting. Now,
the last game is the Hawk Bowl. Now, we talked about Mike Ross being close to 200. We got a guy in the last game that's close to 3 and may well get 300, may well go into that game with 300. Mike Redding and Mansfield taking on North Attleboro. And they met earlier in the midway through the season. North Attleboro won a close game, 14-10. So, I mean, that's a pick'em game there.
And hopefully we get Mike on the show at some point because he's just such a classy guy. I remember as a player at Holy Cross.
Great receiver.
Oh, he's a great player. He's fantastic. He's done.
And he's a North Attleboro grad.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, he was great. But again, there's going to be some familiarity there. They got a big. I mean, this Hawk thing is crazy. I mean, let's jump into it right now.
Yeah. 4 teams.
The Catholic Conference. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Okay, and then the Bay State League. And then the Bay State League.
They had a solid season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Natick's 8-2, and their only 2 losses came to Springfield Central and Needham.
Yeah, exactly.
Wellesley, I mean, you got to the semifinals. I mean, last week probably was not an indicator of what they had, but they've had a great season. Even Walpole, who was sub 500, showed how dangerous they were. They got to the semifinals.
I mean, so the Bay State obviously has had a good year, but there's been nothing like the Hockomock League.
Hockomock has been great. I spoke to Mike Redding about this, and he said, the league has always been good. He said the one thing that, this new playoff format is very beneficial to their league because it allows more than one team to get to, because they play in 4 or 5 different divisions, scattered throughout. And you see they got 4 in the Super Bowl. I mean, you look at, Canton, they had Duxbury beat. They had them on the ropes. Milford had Reading on the ropes.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have very easily been playing in the semifinals. You would have had 6 teams from the league.
I mean, it's amazing. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later with some of the MIA's stuff and so on and so forth. But reality is that Hockomock League really has really, the cream has risen to the top.
No question about it.
And again, my theory is, I believe this because I coached in the league and I recruited the league and everything else. The teams south of Boston those towns do not lose the kids to the private schools like they do up north. Because up north, there's way more private schools and there's way more Catholic schools.
Right.
And again, and hats off to Redding, Mike Redding, to Jack Martinelli, to Brian Lee, and the rest of these guys for keeping kids at home. Doug Kopsko's done a great job. It's not always easy, but when I see the ISL Ross, you don't see a lot of kids from those towns, as opposed to the Middlesex League's been decimated.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. But before we jump on it, let's give a shout out to the vocational bowls. They've got their large school bowl is Whittier's, who's the 6th seed, will be traveling to top seed Bay Path. They're playing next Wednesday at Assumption College, 6:30. Then the small school is a Mayflower Athletic Conference battle. Tri-County, who was the 4th seed, they will travel to Blue Hills, who's the 3rd seed. Blue Hills has been very good in the vocational bowls. I'm guessing that they may have the best record of any vocational school in this tournament.
The vocational bowl, which is affectionately known as the Sawdust Bowl, which we love those guys. We love them.
They grind it out. But you know what? I will say this, though. There's a great deal of pride in those schools because
Danny,
a lot of them, Shaw Sheen, what they've done is very rare for a vocational. And no disrespect, but a lot of those kids who are going there, they're going there. It's not athletics first. They're going to learn a vocation and what have you. So when they get this, gives them an opportunity, to shine in the spotlight and win a championship. And I think it's great. I mean, it's 20 years they've had it going. And it's really terrific.
It is terrific. It's great. And yet again, those schools, like I said, they have just a ton of pride. But but we're going to segue right into. I think we have Al in the Al is in the waiting room, correct, Dane?
Yep. He's ready to go.
All right.
I won't believe it until I see him on the screen.
Is Sid with him?
Yeah, Sid's with him.
Well, we got to give him a little. We got to give him a little segue, right, Dan? We got to look.
Of course.
I mean, not only two of the greats from up in the Merrimack Valley, I'll tell you what, but two guys and I'm on record as saying this.
Yep.
Probably the most successful vocational school in the history of Massachusetts football-wise. Let's bring in two of the leaders, head coach Al Costabile and quarterback, do it all, everything, Sid Tisley. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
Hey, how we doing?
I knew there was a catch. I knew Sid. Thank God Sid is there because there's no way in hell Al would have been able to get us on.
No. It took me a little bit to get it going.
Dan, I needed help, and I have a technological marvel next to me.
Yeah, but more importantly, you got a wizard as a quarterback there.
Oh, I'm a lucky guy, my man. I'm a lucky guy.
Al, what does it mean to have, I don't want to embarrass Sid or anything else, but what does it mean to have Sid there, having a coach on the field? What's it all about with him?
Well, it brings a lot of positives to the game, starting with, leadership as far as on the field. And, as far as the leadership, it's also leadership from a point of wisdom, a point of understanding the game. I mean, Sid is truly a student of the game. He watches as much film as any coach. So when he's out there and he's saying something, it holds a lot of weight. So you have a player that is out there and he's walking the talk. And that's really a very positive thing as a head football coach. It makes me a lucky guy. And it sure helps my offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. It can make some things look good.
Question I have for Sid. Sid, how much, the wrestling, I know people who may not know, you're a Hall of Fame wrestler. You've had phenomenal success. How much do you think wrestling has helped you in football? In what ways has it helped you?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I've been playing football just as long as I've been wrestling. I started at a really early age. My first ever wrestling match was when I was 5 years old. My first football game, I think, was probably like 6.5 of that summer. So we all know, I know that wrestling is much harder than football. I think football is really the off season for me and conditioning wise. And to have that as like the back of your mind that football is something that you play with your team, where wrestling is really like, if you lose, it's all on you. So to be able to have like a season where I can bond with teammates and, like be accountable, hold yourself accountable for others rather than just, winter's kind of just like in your own mind, just do everything for yourself, work hard by yourself, where football is really a team sport and you really grow a bond with the coaches and you have to really put your minds together. So like to have a balance where wrestling's really helped me on the physical side, but also football helps me at the end of the day with wrestling. So there is team sports in wrestling. There's dual meets and stuff like that. And tournament times, there's points that you win as a team. So they really combat and even physical and mental sides of both stuff. Being leaders as well.
As far as the next level, Have you are you going to try to play both sports, or do you think you're going to lean one or the other?
It definitely depends on the financial stuff and obviously academics wise. But I definitely it could either play one, I could play both, or I could wrestle in college, or I could play both, or I could just play football. So we'll see. Definitely, I still got some decisions to make.
Better have 3 options than none.
Yeah.
Good, John.
Sid is a very obviously a very humble young man. I mean, he's a 4.0 GPA guy as well. So not only is he doing it on the field and on the mat, he's doing it in the classroom. Hey, Al, you and I'd love you to share a story, a little bit of, because you know me. I mean, I've been fortunate. You and I have been great friends for 30 years, and I've been fortunate to be really close to the Shawsheen program for a long time. And I have such respect for the vocational kids. Now, we were talking a little bit the other day. Can you respond a little bit about what some of the kids are this weekend after you win a huge game to go to the finals? Kids, I mean, you don't have to name the kids' names. You tell them a little bit about what they were doing the day afterwards.
You know, as far as during the day, Coach.
You remember, Coach, about doing the excavating afterwards?
Oh, absolutely, including the guy next to me, his brother James.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, to have like double sessions, and then on Sunday, that like this weekend or last weekend, a couple of them had a chance to make some money, and with the excavating, and on Sunday morning they're putting work boots on at 6 a.m. and going out the door for the day, you know, to make a buck, to fill the tank with gas. And these kids are not afraid to work. Sid came in, you know, last week that it was co-op that he was working. It was the week before last. And he came in and I said to him, gee, it looked like you had a tough day there, buddy. You're pretty dirty. And he had a shovel in his hand like 8 hours out of the day. He had and he was underground with the shovel in his hand. So, you know, they're packing a gym bag, but they're also making sure their toolbox is full as well. And they got their toolbox ready to go. And they're no strangers to canteen trucks.
Sid, have you ever seen Coach Al on the mat?
Oh, he comes to a couple of our matches a lot, and he's
No. I mean, has he ever gotten on the mat?
Oh, when nobody's around, alone.
Maybe sometimes in the gym when the lights are off, he practices some moves.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I pretend I'm Coach Dunny. I bring Coach Dunny back.
He's grabbed me a couple times.
Hey, Sid, I remember when Coach Costabile was a basketball player, or trying to be a basketball player in Belmont High School. Hey, Sid, he played basketball like a wrestler. I mean, you're doing that and then tackling guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fouling out in the first quarter.
Fouled out every game my senior year. I'm proud of that. ESPN has 30 for 30. I was 20 for 20. 20 games, 20 times I fouled out.
There you go. At least you were consistent.
Hey, guys, we got a big matchup against Foxborough. Obviously, you know, great respect for them. Can you tell me a little bit about what the preparation is going to be like for those guys?
Yeah, definitely what Coach said. Sunday was yesterday. I know everyone wants his NFL. I wasn't. I was watching Foxborough all day from 9 a.m. to 9 at night, trying to get my homework done and stuff. And obviously I had a work day today. I was out in Winchester. So being able to rest on a weekend and watch film is something like my whole family does. My dad really sits down. We really analyze film. Like we take it very serious here. And they're a great team. And I give all my respect to them. The more I watch them, the more I realize how good they are and how well-rounded they are and stuff. So they're going to be a tough team to beat. But as long as we prepare, and at the end of the day, I'd rather be prepared. And if we give everything and it doesn't come out to what it's going to be, then so be it. But I want to leave no regrets on the preparation, how hard we work. And at the end of the day, once you get on that field, that's just how it's going to be. And I believe in fate. So we have a vision quest to do what we want to do. And at the end of the day, fate is going to lead to what's
Question
happening.
I have, I don't have this note. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. Was it 2 years ago you were at Gillette? Or was it
Yes. So my freshman year, we went 6-5. We didn't even win the league. And then sophomore year, we went 12-0. We beat Dover Sherborne in the Final Four. We went
And then you played North Reading.
Yep. And we were tied 14-14 at half, and they pulled away at the end. And then the year after, Foxborough had beaten us Final Four. And then this year, we all know what happened.
Well, that would lead into my question. Is it for you, is there an advantage? Because a lot of times when kids go to Gillette, that, you know, the first time they're there, it's like the wow factor. How much of an advantage is it going to be for you guys? Because many of you played as sophomores there already. So it's not going to be a new experience for you. You think that'll help?
Yeah, definitely being the fact that we have probably 7 or 8 kids who played varsity on that team as a sophomore, including me, my brother, Colin Walls, kids like that. So for us to, you know, we were walking off to the Gillette Stadium saying we're going to be back, and how hungry we were to be back. And then coming the next year, being a junior and then not getting back, just it was a sour taste in our mouth. So, and another, the mindset we had my sophomore year, which not a lot of us kind of forget about, was, oh, we made it to Gillette. At least we made it there. Like, it's fun to, like, oh, we're here now. It's good to take that in, but it's a completely different mindset this year. And this year it's a state championship or nothing. But sophomore year, coming off a 6-5 season, I mean, our goal was to win state vote my sophomore year. So we exceeded expectations. We weren't supposed to be in Gillette, but this year it's really all or nothing, especially being a senior captain on a team that, with my brothers, we've been playing together since we were 4 years old together. So for this 12-year journey to, you know, end without a state title is just nothing I can't handle. So we just need to finish business.
Hey, Sid, final question. I know this is going to be a hard one. Listen, has Coach Costabile told you that if you guys win, he wants to play Frank Sinatra My Way Up? Does he play Frank Sinatra in the locker room? Does he do that?
Yeah, we actually on the way home we always play this song.
Oh yeah.
And we play this Italian song. I forget what it's called. It's something like
Hey, Gumare.
Yeah, we all on the bus we go like this.
You guys are all Tommy
We
Cutler.
all play it, and it's great at the end. We all go like this with our hands up, and it's a tribute to Coach. It's a tribute to Coach because he always has, you know, he always does those sayings. He's like, what was it? What's the 5-finger one? It's
Sonny had 5 fingers, but he only used 3.
Yeah, so he says and stuff. So it's awesome to have like the bond that we have, and everyone knows that we got to play that song for Coach, and we do everything for Coach. So there's nothing.
He's the best.
Guy, so.
He's the best, and you're the best, Sid. Listen, I can't wish you guys more success. I mean, this story. Listen, I coached in the private school league, and you know what I mean? And I hope that I'm not saying that every private school kid is privileged or anything. It's certainly not. But I can guarantee you this, not many are getting up and doing what you guys do every day. What you guys do week in and week out is just, it's a gem, and I'm glad we could share it with our audience. Listen, best of luck to you guys, all right?
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sid, Damien used to be a wrestler.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Damien
Damien was a good wrestler. Damien, you could wrestle, man. You could wrestle.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
I had to pitch in and talk about the wrestling talk. I loved every second of that.
It's off. It's a tough sport. Not a lot of people stick with it.
Sid, if Damien gets out,
no one's tougher than a wrestler. No one's tougher than a wrestler.
They say once you wrestle, everything in life is easy after that. So.
Exactly.
Sid, Damien gets out of control every once in a while. If he does, we're going to get you down there and put him on one of those figure
Awesome.
Hey, good luck next Friday.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
We love you.
How great are those guys?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That was perfect.
I can't believe he's talking like that, man. What a great high school mindset right there.
Yeah,
what a
great,
winner mindset too. Not
family.
satisfied, only satisfied.
Now his sister was a great wrestler too.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, unbelievable.
Yeah. And the younger brother James.
Yeah.
Very good. All 3 of them are all scholastic
in the
wrestlers.
family, man.
Yeah.
How about winning a big game? You know what? Going out, grabbing an ice cream with Susie, and then waking up at 6 a.m. going to work. I mean, this is stuff that the general public doesn't hear about. I tell you what, that's why I hate to be a homer, but that's why I love the vocational kids. I just think it's amazing.
They're tough because they have to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk let's talk a little MIAA, all right? And then we'll jump into Herb and again, don't kill the messenger here. But I've been following Danny. What I love about Danny. He's a wise ass in person, and he's a wise ass on Twitter.
I resent that. How dare you?
How about when the guy said to you, Danny, how come we can't find the scores of the Division 4 game? You go, because they're playing tomorrow night. I mean,
I try to. All I did was state a fact. Everyone thinks I was being sarcastic. When you're trying to help somebody out, they always think there's a method to my madness.
That's the internet. That's the internet.
Danny's not sarcastic, Damien, right there.
Yes.
There are a lot of people that get upset about this stuff, and I'm just going to make a statement, and don't get mad at me. I'm not saying they're wrong, but quite frankly, I think it's a poorly run organization, and I think they could do themselves a lot of favors if they did the simple things right. For example,
yes,
Fairhaven versus Swampscott at Milford, Randolph versus Neshoba at Woburn, West Boylston
where?
Woburn.
Okay.
West Boylston versus Carver at Woburn. Reading versus North Attleboro, and I know we've discussed this, at Assabet Valley.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where neither team used the locker room because they were too far away. My point being is this, and just hear me out, is that I think they could do themselves a much bigger favor if they did what you may think and other people may think of the little things, if they spent more time on the little things, making them correct. Those are outrageous sites for football games. They're outrageous sites.
Now, where would you play them?
I would play them at college. I would 100% play them at college stadium.
Okay, so they should play at BC, right?
BC, listen, BC's fine.
Okay, BC's fine. BC has said no.
But if they said no, then I get it. But what about
BU? What about BU?
I don't care about BU. They don't have goalposts anymore.
BU said no.
BU
Harvard.
BU drop football. I mean, so
what about Harvard?
I don't care
Harvard
about that.
No.
What about
0 for 3 on the big facility?
I didn't say it.
I'm just saying. I mean, everyone says, well, they should go to BC. Well, you can't go there if they won't let you play there.
And who's telling you they said no? How
BC
come
BC has said it countless times.
Let's get away from BC.
All right.
Let's get away from BC. Let's talk about Curry. Let's talk about Endicott. Let's talk about Mass
Now, Curry, there was an issue years ago.
You're trying to tell me
yes.
that I'm just saying that in my world where I run camps and anything else, I can make phone calls and basically get on all these campuses if you do it the right way. I don't know why they can't do it, but I can. Okay.
Now, didn't you have an issue with a camp and somebody had to bail you out by getting you Malden Catholic?
Nah, no.
No?
I've never run a camp at Malden Catholic.
You never used their facility for anything.
We've used our facility. We've used the facility for the league, but we never used it for camp.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, no. That's a football league.
I'll tell you one that I would like. I mean, I've seen Bentley.
This is my point. Is there are so many college facilities around here that I think we're not talking about Montana. We're not talking about Wyoming. We're talking about Greater Boston, WPI. I mean, I just don't know why they do it. And I defy anyone to tell me that they reached out. And again, it makes no sense to send West Boylston and Carver to Woburn. That made no sense at all. None whatsoever. And they wonder why attendance is down and so on and so forth. And they wonder why people bitch and they wonder why people get upset about this stuff. That's indefensible to send those schools there.
So they played on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So they probably had to drive a little over an hour, right?
I have no idea.
Let me ask you a question. You're a big Fort Lauderdale, Mr. Poo-Poo guy down there. Top team down there is St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
They played their state championship game last year. Where did they play the game?
I don't know, somewhere in the state. It's a big state.
In Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Saturday morning at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I
We're
know. I have no
4
problem
hours
with
away
that.
from the campus.
I have no problem with that. They travel.
Okay, so now you're talking West Boylston and Carver. You're yelling at them for being an hour away.
yelling at him. I'm not yelling at him. I'm
I
just
thought you were a
voicing-
little loud, to be honest with you, John.
I'm just voicing. I am just voicing what the people in Massachusetts are saying.
They're soft.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. Listen.
They drive me crazy. I mean, this one guy today didn't understand, was all upset that they didn't put the Gillette schedule out till this morning. I said, buddy, the game is 9 days away. What is the big deal? Whether it was put out yesterday or today. 9 days away, the game is. I mean, there are people who go out there to complain just to complain.
I would say if you did a straw poll of if people are happy with the MIAA.
I can guarantee you what the answer. You don't even need a straw poll. I can give you the answer right now.
Well, give it to me.
Nobody. Everyone thinks they're terrible.
Okay, well, that's my point.
I'm going to say this, because nobody has bashed them in the media more than I have for years. I do think they're heading in the right direction. I think they've got new leadership there. I do think they're trying to do the right thing. I mean, you're always going to piss somebody off. I mean, that's just nature, human nature. I do think it's gotten better. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely.
Okay, then why are you arguing with me then?
I had to put you in your place.
Classic Danny right there.
Hey, listen to this.
He's stammering. I frustrated him.
No, you're not saying no. You agree with me, but you're still arguing with me. I love it.
I'm not agreeing. I'm just stating my opinion.
You just said they have to get better.
Well, everyone's got to get better, except for me, and the Lions. But I mean, that's another story.
And the Lions. Yep.
All right. Well, obviously, I'm a man of the people, and you are.
I'm a man on an island, obviously.
You are a man on the island. It's unbelievable. That's okay. That's all right. Great.
Yeah,
all right. Well, let's transition. Let's transition to some fun stuff with the NCAA. What's going on with that, Dane?
Oh yeah, guys. Let's talk about it. I mean, the schools coming from Massachusetts have been playing huge lately. I mean, we are kicking ass right now. Let's talk about the colleges in New England.
And I'm going to start this one off. I'll tell you what, we just talked about how many colleges there are in New England. And to be honest with you, New England's not known for football. But, what we have here is it's been a banner year for college football in New England. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 teams that have made the postseason. Boston College, Danny's favorite team. His favorite team for he sings for Boston every night. BC's bowl eligible.
No, they play. I thought I think they were going to try to get into the 8 o'clock game next Friday.
You see, it's unbelievable. You can't. You know what? You're going to be the reason why Billy O'Brien doesn't come on our show, because he's going to say you're a hater. Anyways, so we got BC. Jim Moore has done a hell of a job at UConn.
Yes,
they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go the FCS. Coach Fleming down at URI has done a University of Rhode Island, unbelievable job. They're in. Ricky Santos, player of the year from Bellingham High School and anything else. Ricky, fantastic guy. Another great year for UNH. And then Central Connecticut wins their league and they're in. So we got all those guys. Also, Holy Cross tied for the league title, but Lehigh's going because of head-to-head. There's another great team. We had 2 New England teams, well, most of them in New England, but Harvard and Dartmouth both co-champs in the Ivy League. And then New Haven down in Connecticut in the Division II national title finals, playoffs. And then let's not forget about Endicott, Paul McGonigal. Unbelievable job. They opened up last week, 44-0. Big win for them. They're playing Cortland State, one of the best teams in the country, which is going to be unbelievable. And then we got UMass playing Springfield in another Dynamite Bowl. Hey, kudos to New England football.
Absolutely. It gives these local high school kids plenty of options. just because you're not going to go to BC doesn't mean you can't play quality college football. And these places give you the great options. And we don't even mention the NESCAC for the the guys who do it on the field and in the classroom.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. The NESCAC week. I mean, unfortunately, they don't go to the playoffs, but there is talk about Ivy League going to the playoffs next year, which would be unbelievable.
They picked it up off our show. That's why.
Yeah, they're watching the show. They're big.
Of course they are. I mean, where are we not trendsetters, for God's sake? And then NESCAC will follow that afterwards. All right. I'm still pissed at Danny about the Malden Catholic comment. What was that Malden Catholic comment for? You were wrong. I need a retraction.
You didn't ask me.
We need the community footnotes.
You didn't use my my advice to have one. I can't even keep up with your multi-million-dollar enterprises there. I don't know if it's a camp.
Yeah,
I can't, because one time, Damien, I wrote a little something for him. He says, "You can't use this word. It's not a camp. It's not a con." I don't even know. It's a camp, combine, whatever they are.
That's because I followed it. We got a guy who's done an unbelievable job. No better job in Massachusetts. What he's done down at Scituate. He's got a huge game next weekend versus Duxbury. Let's hear it for Herb Devine.
Yeah.
Welcome, Herb.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Buddy, tell us about your season. It's been a Cinderella season. You guys have just done an unbelievable job. Tell us a little bit about what's been the key to success for you guys.
I mean, I think I got a good group coming back from last year. I would say, my coaching staff has done a pretty great job with keeping the kids prepared week to week, just being ready, just playing week to week football. But these group of kids have done a great job working out in the weight room and just being teammates. And that's what I love about this group. They really have, there's no individuals on the team. And we got a bunch of really good players that really care about each other. It doesn't matter who scores. It doesn't matter who gets the stats. They just want to win football games, and they'll do whatever it takes to do that. And these kids are, the epitome of being the ultra team. And, we're excited. Obviously today we had getting ready for, the abbreviated version of getting ready for Thanksgiving. You got like 2 days to prepare while you just got off the field playing a real good physical Grafton team. And, our kids will be ready for Turkey Day on Thursday. But, it's a short week.
Herb, this is Danny here. I guess it's something that, most coaches wish they were in the predicament you're in. But and you've had to do this a few times. Like you said, it's a short turnover. How do you approach Thanksgiving, knowing that you've got a game beyond Thanksgiving?
Honestly, for us, I came from the Coach Bancroft school of, it is a football game we're going to prepare for. We're going to do whatever it takes to prepare and, be ready for their defense, be ready for their offense. I can't even imagine having my kids sit around and not play and go out there and play other kids on a Thanksgiving Day football game, which is, to me, where I came from, Whitman, Hanson, Abington, was a huge game with tons of tradition. And I just, personally, I can't imagine sitting a bunch of seniors on their last Thanksgiving Day game and not being ready to play the game of football. We'll be smart and manage the guys that need some time off, but that's every week. I think Mike Redding said it best. Coach Redding, I read a little thing that he said about, you're just preparing. You're preparing for another football game, and maybe your Monday, Tuesday practice is a little bit more like your Tuesday, Wednesday practice, like you would during a regular season when you play on a Friday night. So that's what we're doing. We're going to prepare to go out there and stop Hingham and try to score in Hingham and go win a football game.
One thing that I've been impressed with your team, you've been able to, if the game has to be a high scoring game, you've been comfortable there. But as we saw last week, if the situation dictates where it's going to be a one-score game, low-scoring game, you're comfortable playing that as well. Talk about the type of team that you guys seem to have that ability to whatever it takes.
I think that's the key, is playing complementary football. Last year, this year, we've had games where we could just score points, where we were getting teams to go 3 and out and getting the ball and scoring quick. But I think this group of kids and obviously the coaches, it was I mean, I'm the offense coordinator, so trust me, I didn't want to be playing that type of game. I wanted to score points, but Grafton's defense wouldn't let us do that. So, as a coach, you get smart. You're like, you got to make good decisions, and maybe taking some chances in that game when your defense is playing well. You start to really play field position, and you really want to be smart with the ball because your defense was playing well. It was a 7-3 football game, and they were moving the ball in the fourth quarter, and we got a good stop. Both teams had calls go against us at tough times when we scored, and even Grafton had a touchdown called back. So you manage those games, and once you're in those games when they're tighter and you can tell that the defenses are really the story that week, you gotta be smart, and sometimes it's okay to punt. I always tell my kids, like, punt team is the worst call that I can make as a football coach. I hate saying the word punt team, but in a game like that, you have to punt, and you got to be smart. And our defense was playing outstanding, and we were able to hold on there at the end and punch one in pretty late. But it was a good football game. But yeah, you're right. It's managing each game is a little different.
Kudos to you, Herb, because there's too many. This is my opinion. There's too many guys out there that want the splash. Like everyone. As soon as it's fourth down, everyone's going to go for it. I'm with you. I think the punt is a great weapon, and and there's been teams playing on Sunday that I'm punting at the right time, in my opinion. Herb, we all know about all the stars of the team and stuff like that, but as we move forward here, and I hate to ask a coach to single anyone out, but are there any couple guys that kind of maybe linemen or guys or backups, the guys maybe don't get the notoriety that have been really key for you as we move forward here?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say on our defense, we have two defensive ends. Charlie Murphy and Amari Mendez have been outstanding, both seniors, unbelievable. They've had just great seasons. And then the interior guys, there's been one of our D linemen who's a captain, Sean Coyne. We've had a kid, Parker Shaw, in the middle, like, playing just good football, like understanding their gap responsibilities and not getting trapped and doing the right things. And our two middle linebackers, Willis Ames and Ronan Manning, have just been outstanding for us all year. So those guys, that front six, and another one, Bronson Bossy, an outside linebacker, strong safety for us. Those guys have been outstanding on the defensive side. And in our interior linemen, I mean, Shea Tinkham, a junior on the offensive line with a two seniors on either side of him. He's had an outstanding year with, again, Willis Ames and Sean Coyne, familiar names I just mentioned. But, a lot of guys playing both ways that are grinding. Chris Caparella just committed to Bentley, so he's a great player for us, right tackle, and our left tackle, Charlie Murphy. So those guys up front, the big boys up front don't get a lot of the credit, but if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be going to Gillette next Thursday.
Love it. Gotta love the Hogs up front, Herb.
We do.
I don't want you to jump ahead of Hingham, and again, but we got to ask you, what do you think of Duxbury?
Well coached, know what they're doing. They do it well. They play great defense. They don't make mistakes. That's how Duxbury plays. I mean, they have a tradition. It's like I know people say, "Oh, Duxbury is a little different." Well, yeah, Duxbury might be a little different, but they're still a great football team. Last year they had some big offensive linemen that were tall and big. This year they have some shorter guys that are very physical, very good football team. They play great defense. Like, again, Coach Landolfi does an awesome job there. They're so well coached, and they got an experienced backfield. Their quarterback's obviously back from last year, and Reese, the tailback's back. So they are a good football team that's not going to make mistakes, and they're going to grind you, and they're going to play great defense. And they're ready. That's how they play. They're ready for December football, November football, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Absolutely.
Yeah, certainly they got the better of you last year in the Super Bowl. But that being said, how much is what happened in the Super Bowl served as a motivator for your guys? Let's get back here.
Well, I would say I'd be lying to tell you that those players that played in that game last year aren't thinking about that game. Once we get past Thursday, they've been pretty focused on it. I know the score. They mentioned that score in the workouts all summer long, and they know what happened. I mean, we lost the game. They were a better team than us last year, and we're hoping when we get to them this year that we perform better and play better. But obviously, our kids they wanted to play this game. You know, if there was a team that, I mean, as a coach, I know it's like, wow, you know what? If we can get back there, great. I wasn't going to be picky on who we played, but if there was a team that our team wanted to play, then obviously the number one seed, the best team out there, that's who you want to play. You want to beat the best, and Duxbury's been the best. So you'd rather finish your season playing the best team you can and going out there and doing your best and obviously doing everything you can to go get that W. And I think that's what the kids are pretty focused on. I mean, I'm a week-to-week guy. I don't even think about the next opponent, but I know that the driving factor for those guys has been that game.
Great.
Well, sorry to put you on the spot, Herb, and you handle like a real pro, which is great. Hey, listen, big game on Thursday. Best of luck. Then next week as well. Best of luck. You've done a fantastic job down there, my friend, and keep doing what you're doing. You're a real football coach, and we appreciate what you do.
Guys,
Thanks so
appreciate
much,
you having me on. Sorry you couldn't get my face up there, but awesome show. You guys got great energy. I love it.
Yeah,
And,
you
thank
take care.
you.
Good luck. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach Devine.
Thanks.
What a great guy.
Terrific guy. He's
Yeah.
done. When he took over, they were not a great program. He's really built that thing up.
No.
Oh, yeah.
They would not.
They're
no,
good.
no. They are very, very good.
Mhm.
All right, listen. Let's jump right to we going shout outs or rants first, Dave?
Let's go shout outs.
Shout outs. Okay. Go ahead, Danny. Shout it out, buddy.
I'm going to go. Welcome to the return of the running back in the National Football League, the position that seemed to be getting overlooked the last few years. I look at who the top 5 running backs right now. Well, 5 of the top 6, because Jahmyr Gibbs is in the mix there, but Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, and Joe Mixon. All 5 guys have the same thing. They came from another team.
Yeah.
And if you look at the teams that let them go, all 5 of them are struggling. You know, I mean,
good.
Yeah, I know Joe Mixon, but you see Barkley last night. It's like the more you watch that, if I'm the Mara family of the Giants, I mean, I'm ready to wring the GM's neck.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you let this guy out of the building?
I don't know if you watched the Hard Knocks on the. It was the Hard Knocks.
I did see that segment.
And Joe Shane's a good guy, but boy, I'll tell you what, that's coming back to bite him a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. That's essentially a death sentence to him.
I know, it's unbelievable. Well, my shout out is to all the mums on Thanksgiving. You know, I obviously played. My brothers played. My mother, it's amazing what they do. And it's one of those, I'm an old guy, but it's one of those memories that's ingrained in your head of playing and doing battle with your buddies and crying and being muddy. And we've all been there. But then you'd always come home and your mom was always there waiting for you, win, lose, or draw. So for all the mothers that watch this, hats off to you. Kudos to you ladies, because I'll tell you what, you are the absolute unsung heroes. And man, I'll tell you, I miss those days. It was
well put.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Now let's do a little rant, Danny. What do you got?
I mean,
yeah.
Well, I need a clarification. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. All I hear about is this Thanksgiving Day tradition. You have to play on Thanksgiving. Yet I've been looking each year, the number of schools that play on Thanksgiving is dropping. This year, I looked at, there's only 73 games on Thanksgiving. Wow. Now, people might say, wow, that's still a good amount of games. Sure. But 10 years ago, we were into the mid-90s, and that's in Eastern Mass. I mean, what you're starting to see is more and more schools are going to Wednesday night games. So I need to know, what is the deal here? Is it important to play on Thanksgiving, or is it not?
Danny, it's a good rant, because I'm going to take it a step further, my friend. So many traditional rivalries have gone out the window. We've lost a bunch of those in the last few years as well. Yeah. I mean, so again, I'm with you with the Thanksgiving Day thing. I mean, is it really all that important anymore? I don't know. For Wellesley Needham, it definitely is. They play on Thanksgiving. They always will. But you know what?
the Fenway Parks, the Friday nights and all that stuff. I'm with you. I don't know where it is. So, yeah, it's a good rant, buddy. All right. My rant is this, you know what? Everyone hates instant replay. And I get it and everything else. But I'm telling you, this is what I don't get about instant replay. How come we don't have common sense instant replay?
I agree.
Exhibit 1, Exhibit A. I'm watching Alabama, and I hate Alabama. They drive me crazy. I'm watching Alabama, and they're playing. They're getting their ass kicked by a bad Oklahoma team. But I'll tell you what, Milroe, who I'm down on because did you see him? He threw an interception, tried to trip a guy. It's this guy. I mean, I'm down. And all of a sudden, they got fourth and 3 or something from midfield. They go for it. The kid throws an unbelievable pass. Kid makes an unbelievable catch. And there's a flag thrown back. This moron called the receiver. He called it if illegal formation, said he was covered up. It wasn't even close. And what it has done, it has taken, I don't care about Bama, but I like handling the ball. But it's taken Bama totally out of the playoff picture. Totally out. Because of one bad call. And there should be common sense. Yeah. And Danny, we talk about it all the time. Yeah. This the stupid shit that happens in the NFL that, you know what? It's got to be common sense. It drives me nuts. That's the deal. That's my rant for the day.
Well done.
And it's not going to ruin my dinner tonight. We're having Labrara burgers down here.
Okay, this is what I got to hear because you disgusted me a couple weeks ago with this bullshit arugula and tomato pizza.
No.
Well, where are we going with tonight? I can only imagine what we're going to have here.
No, I'm going with the burger that won the burger of the year.
I don't care. What is the burger of the year?
I don't know what it's called. Sherry's already ordered it. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to have it right now and I'm going to enjoy it. I might send you a picture. You know what, Dane?
What is the burger, though? You still haven't explained it to me. Are you ashamed of this burger?
It is this Angus beef burger that is going to blow you away.
So good. But what do you put on there? Onions?
No, you can have anything you want on there. I mean,
no. What I want to know is what do you put on there?
Oh, me? I just get it. I get it like that. I don't know. It's got like a secret sauce on there. I like that.
Yeah, do you put onions on there?
Yeah, there's onions on it. Why would you not have onions in a burger? What's wrong with you?
That's crazy. Tomatoes?
No. Pickles? Yeah. Lettuce? Pickles? Yeah, I got all that stuff on there.
Like, I'm getting out of here.
Give me a break.
Danny, let's end the show now.
Danny, I got 2 words for you, Danny. Danny, look at this. I got 2 words for you. Burger King. Get over there. Go ahead.
You know what? Burger King might be a better option because
have it your way, Danny. Have it your way.
That's the way I want it. I mean, the softest coach in America, right here. The softest coach in America.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great one. You have a great one, Dave. Have a great one, Danny.
Take care, my friend.
And we will see you next week as we get ready for the Super Bowl. It's all good, buddy.
Let's go.
Take care.
Bye now.
See you guys.